Greetings, fellow horror fans.
This is FREAKSmoviereviews, a new channel to bring everyone who just loves horror together. And we are at the final episode of Spidermonth. Thank God. I'm telling you, I've really had it with these motherfucking spiders in those motherfucking horrible movies. Spiders was a big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
Dicks was kind of fun, but it was really annoying at times also. And after seeing 8-Legged Freaks, they had me committed. And only after being forced to watch My Neighbor Totoro on a loop for 42 straight hours, I was able to go on with my life. Why is this so hard? You would think the concept of spiders, one of the most common fears, would lend itself to some really good horror movies. But the only thing it led to so far is cheap cash grabs and even cheaper B-movies and some serious cracks in my mental state. Isn't there any spider movie out there that's really good?
You're so happy!
Spiders. Our last movie of Spidermonth is called Arachnophobia. It's a simple yet original title, unlike spiders. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I love this film. This is the real spider movie that all others should, but never have, taken example to. Director Frank Marshall is more known as a producer and co-founder of Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. So even though Arachnophobia came out in 1990, it has more of an 80s Spielberg feel to it, and it is one of those, what I like to call, family-friendly horror movies. You know, the PG ones you saw as a kid, before your soul was crushed and you moved on to the heavier shit. So if you like kid-friendly horror films like Gremlins, Poltergeist, The Gate, Something Wicked This Way Comes, or High School Musical, this film is for you. The plot is fairly simple, as monster movies actually should be. No aliens or space shuttles here. The film opens on a rainforest expedition in Venezuela, where your everyday British entomologist Dr. Atherton discovers a new species of spider. Also present is this fish-out-of-water photographer from America, who doesn't like these spiders one bit. So of course he gets bitten by one of them. We all know he's basically walking spider chow. He instantly dies and is transported back, taking the sneaky creature with him, to the little town of Kanema, accompanied with some jolly carrying the dead guy back to home music. We then meet our main character, Ross Jennings, played by Jeff Daniels. You know, the guy who plays Dumb in Dumb and Dumber. He's a doctor who's down on his luck. His move from San Francisco to this quiet little town to become the new doctor there isn't working out that well. Mainly because the old doctor, Dr. Metcalf, who assured him he was retiring, changed his mind.
You assured me that...
I'm not ready to retire, Doctor.
It doesn't help that he badmouths Jennings on every opportunity he gets.
I believe you may be guilty of medical malpractice.
Dr. Jennings examined him last.
What a dick. But don't worry, the spiders will get to him soon. It also doesn't help that right after examining his first two patients, they die shortly after. People around town even start calling him Dr. Death.
Everybody's calling you Dr. Death.
I just said that.
Hey, he should be glad they're not calling him Dr. Evil or something. Of course, it soon becomes apparent that hundreds of deadly spiders are on the loose, as the spider from Venezuela made it with a common house spider to create a swarm of hybrid toxic offspring. This is more bad news for Jennings as he suffers from, what else, arachnophobia, fear of spiders. Dr. Atherton and his assistant are called in and come to realize that to deal with the situation, the head spider, which they call the General, must be defeated.
If we can just get in there and destroy the original male and the primary nest.
That's right, it's basically the plot of a vampire movie. How come a swarm of spiders is still closer to a vampire movie than Twilight? So it comes to a standoff between Jennings and the final boss. And after picking up the nail gun from the second room in the basement, and pressing X to aim and Y to shoot, the general is set on fire, catapulted to the egg sac containing the offspring, and all the spiders are killed off. The first and second act are pretty brilliant. There's a great hook in Venezuela, and after that the characters are interesting enough to get invested in their story, and to feel sad about them when they get killed off. Oh, poor grandma, she was so sweet and nice. Not the football player, he was gonna go places. I guess he got what he deserved. The film understands that monsters, in this case the spiders, lack any personality. Because, well, they're animals. So they have to make up for it with colorful victims. And even though some of them are a little goofy, it's never over the top, and Jeff Daniels plays a rational, down-to-earth guy who just happens to have a weakness against spiders and therefore is a good character for the audience to identify with. In a typical Spielberg fashion, the movie kind of plays out as a thriller comedy. Marshall at one point even referred to it as a thrillomedy. That's just genius. What's next? A crimedy? Historical epic? Romance fiction? Coming of angster? Arachnophobia has some goofy moments, but manages to keep the balance between those and the horror stuff. Unlike Eight-Legged Freaks, where they failed miserably to do so.
I'm afraid of heights.
Swallow this.
A great portion of the comedy comes from John Goodman's character, who absolutely steals the show in every scene he's in.
Rock and roll.
Playing a wisecracking know-it-all exterminator, he is really, really funny.
Would anybody object if I tore this floor out?
I would.
False alarm, then lead on.
I saw a web. There is a web in the barn.
A web would indicate an arachnoid presence.
Despite the comedy, the suspense is omnipresent, as the spider danger lurks behind every corner. There are loads of Hitchcock moments where the audience knows where the monsters are, but the characters on screen are none the wiser.
Behind you.
There's even an obvious wink to Hitchcock's Psycho with a shower scene. That is just really brilliant. The key word that makes this film so great is effort. Spiders may be an obvious subject for horror movies, but as our previous reviews pointed out, it takes great skill, ingenuity and effort to pull it off. Making the spiders look real and therefore making the audience believe they are really there is essential to make an effective spider horror movie. Arachnophobia doesn't rely on CGI, puppets or props, but on real spiders. Professional entomologist Steven Kutcher was called in, who apparently is the go-to guy for bug and spider wrangling in Hollywood. He has worked on a great number of movies, including Exorcist 2, Exorcistier, Jurassic Park, Meet the Applegates, and I guess all the Barbra Streisand movies. Kutcher also, what the hell? He makes paintings with bugs. You suddenly got creepy. Well anyway, his expertise in arachnophobia makes the movie stand out from other monster movies when it comes to realism.
Everybody just get up very slowly.
When the house is crawling with hundreds of real spiders on set, your skin will itch like a drug addict waiting for his next hit. You see other movies? Just take some real spiders from your backyard and put them in your movie. Works much better, doesn't it?
But they're so small, we want big spider.
Oh really? Well, what's scarier? One big, fake, horrendous, terrible looking vomit-inducing CGI abomination? Or hundreds of tiny real spiders? Works with other animals too. See? One giant bee.
Oh, look how cute, I want to cuddle.
A swarm. Oh my god! One Twilight fan. Or a horde. One giant cat. Oh my god, it's Godzilla! Using real spiders is one thing, but Frank Marshall goes the extra mile in the way Arachnophobia is shot. Most scenes with the spiders are filmed in one shot, often panning from the actor to the actual spider. This way, we get to see where the spider is lurking exactly. Look, he's right over there, you idiot. Just turn around. Each time we see the relation of the spider and its prey in one single image, instead of being cut, which would diminish the tension. This is a great technique as it shows that the spiders are really close to the actors on set. You feel bad for the characters and the actors playing them. Well, most of them. This gives the spider scenes the extra suspense you need on a subconscious level. It's similar to elaborate stunts like in Buster Keaton movies. The comical effect they're going for works much better because you feel the actor is in real danger. So obviously I think the movie is great, of course, but there are some things that really piss me off. Like there's this one scene that's really dumb. Dr. Athatha goes into the barn, discovers the web, and then tries to get the spider to attack him because I have no idea. actually.
Sop is ready.
Hey idiot, you're supposed to be the expert in this movie. You know what was gonna happen, right? He dies, of course. It's really dumb. Let's hope he doesn't give any tours. Yes, people, here we see the critically endangered Philippine crocodile. Observe that when I poke it in the eye, it will start nibbling on my leg. It is now working its way up my body, which, as you can see, is extremely painful. It will most likely keep eating me until I'm swallowed whole. Also, the climax is too long. It's almost 10 minutes. That's too long. You can play all the Lord of the Rings endings in that time. At one point you just don't care anymore. I also have some major beef with the very last scene. After defeating the spiders, Ross Jennings has moved back to San Francisco just to make some kind of silly earthquake joke. Now what kind of an ending is that? Here you have a character who's trying to get accepted as a new town doctor who's afraid of spiders. You think he'd be accepted by the townspeople in the end, or at least conquered his fear of spiders now, but no, he just moved back. There's no arc here. At all. That's like ending How to Train Your Dragon with Hiccup and his dragon killing the big dragon off and then going like, and then the dragon was bought by a zoo and Hiccup went to accounting. I know Arachnophobia is supposed to be a comedy, has to end on some kind of joke, but I'm a simple guy and I like simple endings that conclude the story so that I can sleep well. Otherwise I'd be laying awake at night pondering, I wonder if Jennings ever conquered his fear. But these are just nitpicks actually. The movie works really well on any other level. So if you haven't seen Arachnophobia yet, make sure you do. It is a monster movie classic and by far the best spider movie so far. That was Arachnophobia, and so Spidermonth is officially over. I hope you enjoyed it, I sure didn't. So do me a favor and next time you see a spider, squash him real good for me, okay?
Yeah, that's right. I'm bad.